say nothing. He don't do nothing. He's a goddamn idiot. That's what he is. He don't say nothing. He don't do nothing. Probably thinks ice hockey is frozen manure, one of those idiots. You wait till he finds out that horse cock is a rooster with a sore throat, he'll really get shook up then. That hat kind of throw you, little Eddie? That's like the guy that owns a racehorse. Been in 15 races, come in last every time. Guy's real hacked at the animal. Goes down to the stable that morning, he looks at the horse, he says, I'm going to tell you something, you hay-burning mother. If you don't win that race this afternoon, you're going to be pulling a milk wagon at 4 in the morning. Now, that afternoon, the horses broke from the barrier, and he was dead-ass last. Coming into the home stretch, this horse is 15 lengths behind the next to last horse, and jockey just whipping the hell out of him. Horse turned around and said, hey, man, cool it. I got to get up at 4 in the morning, boy. Love those animal stories. Being from Oklahoma, raised on a ranch, know a little about them animals. Give me a little of that Oklahoma music, will you there, hombre? Let me go, I'm your brother. The hell did that one come from? If I gave a horse to you, every time you're feeling blue, you'd have a room full of horse shit. That's the damn truth. How do you tell the difference between a cow and a bull? A bull smiles when you milk it. Y'all think about some of these as we go along now. How long is the hair on a rabbit? Well, you give an elephant that's got diarrhea, plenty of damn room, boy, plenty of room out there. But as the old sow said when she pulled into the DX station, I'll try that boron. Yeah. You know all the girls in Tokyo are made in Japan? You didn't know that, did you? Do you know that a crowded elevator smells different to a midget? I got you learn things around here. I'll tip you off to all these little goodies. Like the guy says, what do you think of sex? He says, oh, it's a pain in the ass. He says, you're doing it wrong, boy. You're doing it wrong. You got to do it Oklahoma style. Oh, can't go for Texas. Being in Oklahoma, the only thing I can say about Texas, there'd have been a back door of that Alamo, there'd have been a lot more Mexicans in that state. That's all I got to say. Old Texas. That's where men are men and women are women and the sheep are leery. I know all about Texas. Oklahoma, that's a great state. We got one of the funniest comics you've ever seen on TV. Catch him every Sunday. His name is Oral Roberts. He's a funny cat. I damn. Did you see him last Sunday when the guy hobbled up with the crutches and he said, throw away the right crutch, throw away the left crutch. Ah, fell right flat in his ass down the stage there. I seen Oral just before I left Tulsa, and I said, Oral, I haven't been feeling myself lately. He says, good, your face is clearing up, too. That's nice. It really is, yeah. I love to tell stories. Drunk stories, dialect stories. Did you hear the story about the little Jewish girl who walked into the doctor's office and she said, I'm here for the physical. And the doctor says, if you'll step in the examining room, I'll be there in about 5 minutes. Well, 5 minutes later, the doctor walks into the examining room. He looks at the Jewish girl and he says, get your clothes off, honey, and I'll give you your examination. She stepped back about 2 feet. She says, I won't take the clothes off unless there's another Jewish person in the room, buddy boy. He said, look, lady, I'm a physician. I have other patients waiting. Will you please get your clothes off? She says, I don't give a damn. I won't take the clothes off unless there's another Jewish person in the room. Got the message? He says, pardon me just a moment. So he runs down the hall about 3 doors to Dr. Greenberg. He runs in there and he says, hey, Greenie, give me a hand, will you? I got a Jewish girl in my office. She won't take her clothes off unless there's another Jewish person in the room. Greenberg says, hey, buddy, you think you got troubles? I got a Catholic in here, won't give me a specimen in a mason jar. That's like the two Jew boys that were talking. One of them said to the other one, said, you know, that Moses had to turn left instead of right. If he'd have had the oil, the Arabs would have had the sand. You know that, don't you? Wild story. Where are you from, ma'am? What? Tokyo. I was there many, many years ago. I was a Navy man at the time, but I quit. I was bored to death. Oh, God, yes. They kicked me out of the Army for drinking milk out of a wax carton. Oh, that was bad break, too. They had some cute containers, by God, I'll say that. Speaking of that Navy, I'll never forget the time I joined that Navy. I walked into recruiting station. This has been about 25, 26 years ago. I walked in the recruiting station. That old chief boatswain looked at me and said, get your clothes off, get in the next room. Shit. We hadn't even shook hands yet, man. I ain't gonna argue with him, no. I take my clothes off, I go turn into the next room. My God, there was 50 men running around with no clothes on. You let me tell you something, ladies, that's a weird-ass sight to witness, I'll tell you. 50 men in no clothes. We didn't know what the hell to do with our hands, you know? And you try to act so nonchalant, but man, how long can you pick your navel, you know what I mean? Got 50 men standing looking all right straight ahead, and the first time a guy turns his head, you figure he's one. Watch him, boy. We had a little midget running around with his nose in everybody's business. Some guy from the jewel box, he kept screaming, smorgasbord! Oh, yes, hey! Oh. Had one guy from Creek County, Oklahoma, Sapulpa, Oklahoma. He was standing there like this for about 20 minutes, and I'm watching him. Finally, I said, what in the hell are you hiding? He says, nothing. I said, nothing. Hell, if I had what you had, I'd be damn proud of it. He said, I would too, but it belongs to the guy behind me. I'm going to tell you something. That Abe Lincoln said all men was created equal, but he never was in one of them recruiting stations. You can believe that. Then they line you up in single file and they tell you to march. Well, when you're in that condition, you don't look where you're going. You're watching the guy behind you. And like the Greek boy that left home, he didn't like the way he's being reared, you know? I had some real sadistic doctors too. This one doctor looked at a kid. He says, what's the matter with you? The kid says, there's something wrong with my ear. He says, cut off his ear. You're in. Looked at another kid. He says, what's the matter with you? The kid says, I got ptomaine poisoning. He says, cut off his toe. You're in. About that time, I hooked it for the back door. He says, where are you going, Hans? I says, well, I got prickly heat, and I ain't going to take any chances with you at all. I was damn lucky I didn't have asthma, I'll tell you that, man. Yeah. I'll never forget the first job I ever had in the United States Navy. Graduated from Great Lakes Naval Training Station. They shipped me out to North Island, California, Navy Air Base, and I'm making coffee for the whole base. Joined the Navy, learned to make coffee. 4 o'clock in the morning, I got 12 coffee urns out there. I'm just making that coffee like crazy. One morning about 4:30, the chief commissary steward walked by. He like the head cook, see? And he's got a pound of this stuff you put in the coffee. It's called salt Pedro. Was that it? Saltpeter. That was it, yeah. This stuff was so potent you couldn't raise your arm to salute, let alone anything else, man. And he says to me, the boys are getting a little horny, Hans. Put this in the coffee. Well, now, you know damn well I ain't going to put it in the coffee. So they happened to be putting the new runway out at North Island at the time, so I just walk over to the cement mixer and I throw this whole pound of saltpeter in the cement mixer. I was in 1940, and that damn runway hasn't hardened to this day, man. That's wild stuff. I'm going to tell you something. And I remember what they used to say in the Second War. All the girls used to say, anything for the boys in uniform. I caught everything they had, too, Daddy. Walked into a seafood restaurant, said crabs, $5. I said, shake hands with a millionaire right here. Oh. Yeah. That That's when I was young and carefree. I was young, I didn't care, and I thought it was free, man. Damn sure ain't, I'll tell you. You giggling, laughing, lady, I know what I'm talking about there. That Second World War, it was in all the papers. Yeah. We won it too, by God. I'll tell you one thing, though. It was up to me. We'd have goofed. I only cracked up about 6 Navy planes. I want you to talk to me about that. I could get them off, but I couldn't get them back down. I have a hell of a time landing them. That's what my commanding officer told me. One more goddamn cracked up plane, we're going to make an enemy ace. That's right. You speak Japanese. Oh, you Yankee son of a bitch. My God, you people got here a little late. Did you bring a note? We have a party of 6. Howdy. Just in time for the show. We're going to do some novelty acts. The ceiling opens up and an octopus drops down, rapes a bagpipe. That's very educational, ma'am. You like that. And then we're going to have our lovely Italian star. She's the exotic dancer. She came clean from Italy, and that's a pretty damn neat trick right there. Her name is Sophia Suppositori. She's a hell of a swimmer. Used to be a call girl in Venice. Y'all got to think about some of these, you know. That's like, you ever see that guy on TV running around the big white horse in a suit of armor and a spear going stronger than dirt? Turning everybody white. You know who's riding the horse? Governor Wallace. You see where the NAACP voted Governor Wallace the Mother of the Year? That's the definition of real trouble. When the governor of Alabama dies, goes to heaven, and a voice says, "Hello there, I'm the Lord." There's a world of trouble there. Of course, I have troubles all my life. I'm going to tell you something. The way my luck's been running, it was raining naked women. I'd get a lesbian. I can buy a suit with 2 pair of pants, burn a hole in the coat. Makes you feel like a one-legged man at an ass-kicking contest, you know what I mean? Walked into a drugstore today, I said, "Lady, I'd like to have some deodorant." She said, "You want the ball type?" I said, "For my arms, if you don't mind." Right. Tonight I was putting toilet water on my hair. Somebody slammed a seat in my forehead. And my luck's been running like that for years. I'll give you an example of it. You remember that List and Clay fight they held in Maine? Well, it cost me $280 to fly from Oklahoma to Maine and back. Cost me $100 for a ringside seat, and I'll be damned if Liston didn't sit down before I did. This guy in the next chair to me, he said, "You think that Sonny Liston will ever fight again?" I said, "You bet your ass. If I ever catch him, he will. I'll tell you that." And I don't think I could get romance in a woman's prison with a handful of pardons. Asked the boss for a raise last week. He gave me a dozen oysters and sent me home. Ain't none of them worked. Of course, it's got to get better. It can't get any worse, I'll say that. Now we give you famous last words of famous people. This is going to frost your ass. Famous last words of famous people. General Custer's famous last words. Don't take him prisoners, fellas. That ain't the way I heard it either, but that's the way I got to do it tonight, I'll tell you. Christine Jurgensen's famous last words. Christine Jurgensen's famous last words, just before they operated on her. Make it snappy, Doc. Harry Truman's famous last words. "We will not send your boys abroad. They're going to have to find their own." Abraham Lincoln's famous last words. "4 scored and 20 didn't." Al Capone's famous last words. "You better keep your ass out of them garages on St. Valentine's Day, Daddy, I'll tell you." Now, give me the key of F. I'm going to sing something wild song. Davy caught it, gave it to the whole frontier. Like them old songs? Takes a long one to tickle Mary. It takes a long one. I love that. Jack be nimble, Jack be quick, Jack jump over the candlestick. Great balls of fire there, boy. Hey, bartender, how do you make a fruit cordial? Pat him on the ass. That'll do it, Daddy. How do you make Mogan David wine? Kick him in the groin. You like them old songs? They're the best, believe me. How about this one? Give me a little C7 there, buddy. There's a locust on my mocus, knock it off. There's a locust on my mocus, knock it off. There's a skeeter, better hold that one. No, that's a little wild there. Oh, yeah. There's nothing left of me since my hysterectomy. And Ruby, you've only got one booby, but I don't mind at all. I've only got one bottle. Those are nasty ones. Do we know any clean ones? Pack up all my cares and woe, you'll get slapped for feeling low. I like that one. No, I ain't gonna get it either. Casey Jones said before he died, 2 more broads and I'm gonna ride. Where the hell did this one come from? The fireman said, who could they be? A swinging Arab and a Cherokee. Down among the Iroquois, there among the girls and boys, lives an Indian maid named Minnie. Ha ha, ha ha. This is a little Indian tale. That's like the queer Indian, Homo the Brave. Do all those clever things. We even give you famous imitations of famous people. Wait, wrong hat, right hand, wrong hat. Imitations of the great singing star, Mr. Frank Sinatra, ladies and gentlemen. Sing, you skinny-ass dago. Go crazy. If somebody loves you, it's no good unless they pay you. I'm a nookie bookie. And here's old Dean Martin. This is the one I love. Everybody gets a little sometime. You know, by God, that's the truth. I've been in this business 20 years, and I have yet to have a man walk up to me and say, hey, Bob, you know where I can get a lot? By God, they all want just a little, don't they? And a little never hurt nobody, did it, little girl? You sitting there with 2 men, that's for the needy, not the greedy, by God. You got 2 men, that's your husband? Who the hell is this? Your brother? Are you from Kansas City? Is he from Kansas City? You mean a good-looking girl like you can't get your brother a date? You got a sister just like I got, you know that? God damn. How come? Pretty girl. Don't you know any pretty girls at all? You stick around, buddy. I think it's a drummer's night in the barrel. Something's going to work out for you. I'll tell you that, by damn. How long you been married, ma'am? 8 months. You got any children? No children. You ain't from Oklahoma either, are you, honey? It's like the guy said, you ever see this fella on TV? Every night about 6 o'clock, Channel 5 walks out, gets a full-faced up view and says, howdy, folks, I'm Smokey the Bear. Who gives a shit? That's what I want. How come Smokey the Bear ain't got no children? Every time his wife comes in heat, he throws a bucket of sand on her. Shoom! Damn idiot. You got that one, didn't you, little girl? I gotta get all these things out here. Oh, there's a good one. Gotta read that. Drunk stories. I love drunk stories. Because I do them so authentically. Did you hear the story about the drunk that staggered into the bar and he's oiled to the gills? And he says in the stage whisper, you can hear all the way to Raytown, he says, hey, bartender, buddy, where's the local house of horizontal refreshment?